Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Deborah Wade's Theater. Well, as you know, as an actress, I also wrote thousands of books. Thousands and thousands of books. Can't keep up with them. This is called The Street Back in Time. Well, it's about a young girl named Marjorie Liu that lived in sort of a suburban town. And there's a street called Maple Drive. And she walked onto Maple Drive, and all of a sudden she was back in time to the 1950s. It was all 1950s stuff. Kids playing with having hula hoops going, hearing Elvis music. It was a beautiful, beautiful street. It only goes like 8 blocks, believe it or not. And I'm going to show some photos of my book. Drive-in movies. Isn't that something? She literally took a trip back into time. The streets are all back in time. Anybody goes on Maple Drive, we're going back in time. Old-fashioned kitchen. Wow. Old-fashioned house. All 1950s. Isn't that something? My grandmother's kitchen. All 1950s. Being an actress and an author, I absolutely loved writing this book. I mean, it was unbelievable. Kids were playing kickball in the street. One kid was yelling "car," things that you heard back in the 50s. They had Sullivan Show you would hear going on Sunday night, and all the old-fashioned TV shows. All the TV sets had antennae in my book, by the way, because it was all back in the 1950s with no computers, no Facebook, just all stuff back in the 1950s. Now, let me see what else we can find. That brings back a lot of memories of the good old days of the 1950s. And this is what the book was about. She literally time traveled back to the 1950s. Isn't that something? Oh my goodness. Yeah, when you're an actress, you try to be as creative as you can, but this is one book I love to write. Like I said, the kids were playing kickball, but also football. Obviously, they would play both, obviously. Oh my goodness. Ah. Here we go. This thing that Grandma would bake back in the 50s. She smells the delicious food that was being made back in the 1950s. She would hear Elvis Presley. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. All homemade goodies. So yeah, for her, it was it was a treat. It was all back in time. I mean, everything was 1950s. There was like I said, no computers, no Facebook at all. There was J.J. Newberry's was there. I'm trying to see what else was there. Grand Union was there, all old-fashioned stuff that we don't have anymore, which is there, five and dime stores. The music was playing, the kids were playing outside, the mommies were talking, all the neighbors were very close near the community. Because again, there were no computers, it was all back, like I said, she traveled back into time, and it was a thrill, but she never wanted to leave Maple Drive, because that's where, this one magical street in this whole suburban area is back in time. It was like, even the newspaper said 1953. Isn't that something? Even before I was born. And it was a beautiful, beautiful story that I decided to write called The Street Back in Time. Really beautiful, beautiful story. The kids will be, playing. They'll be playing in a little wading pool. They'll be going under the sprinkler. That's all basically what was on this street. From Deborah Wade's Theater, have a great day.